G'day and welcome to the 44th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. Holy shit, it's Destiny 2 week, it's finally here. It's the best thing that's ever happened to anybody anywhere in the history of the world. And we're going to talk about the story, we're going to talk about grinding the end game, we're going to talk about just about everything we can in our little window of time. So we hope you enjoy it. Let's go, cheers. G'day and welcome to the 44th episode of Destiny Down Under, formerly known as Destiny Down Under, now Destiny 2 Down Under. We've got no guest this week. There's just so much going on, so much to discuss. Jesus. I said disgust. It was a bit of a Freudian slip after watching Matt just wolf down whenever the fuck he was eating prior to stream. It was something. It was a moment.
Guys, Destiny 2... eat and sleep. Okay, so right now I'm doing the eat part.
We haven't done much of the sleep. I don't think any of us have. Sloth, what have you done to your camera?
It's fine. It's fine. I'm fixing it.
You're just ruining it. You're ruining everything. So, holy shit, it's been quite the week. We all played together on launch night. We ran through most of the story until sort of we all each individually got tired at different rates and then had to go our separate ways. I think I got up and Matt was still up from the night before. So yeah,
I don't even know what day it is at the moment.
Podcast day. It's Saturday.
It's podcast day. That's the only reason I know what day it is.
Yeah,
we're in a podcast.
That is it. That is the only thing. So. I will throw the warning out there that there is going to be a fuckload of spoilers this week. It is kind of unavoidable. If you are still at the point where you are progressing through the story, just like save this until you're finished, because there's huge parts of it that we can't really talk about and do justice if we speak about it in general terms. So
yeah,
we're gonna be doing that. We tried really hard in the pre-release stuff not to dish out spoilers, but that time and that ship has well and truly fucking sailed. So, where do we start? Where do we begin?
Hey,
let's start that.
Can I say something?
Yes. Yes, you can.
It will make sense in a moment, Sloth.
Okay.
Because everyone's already fucking forgot about it, and it's only been a week, but I released a Destiny comic book on Sunday night in the US.
Oh, yeah.
So, get that in ya.
Get it in ya. Yeah, there's been, as I said, there's such a huge week. How's it going? Did it go well? I loved it, to be honest. It was just
I thought it was great. What's the reception?
Really good feedback from the community. A lot of people connected with the main character, Anon51, which is exactly what we wanted. We sort of wrote that character in a way that he never really participated in Destiny 1. He wasn't there. He was a very depressed, post-traumatic stress sort of character that we sort of wrote into it. And feeling pretty sorry for himself, but picking himself up towards the end to take on Goal, and just lots of cool comments saying, "Oh my God, this is me," which is sort of what we wanted to achieve with that. So really happy with that. It didn't perform very well views-wise. It's always hard to see something that's taken like 5 months' work to sort of be on par with the rest of the other videos, and especially when stuff in.
Are you comparing a fiction? Are you comparing a self-written, self-drawn per se by your team, so yourself, Gamma, and are you comparing that to your reporting of lore, for lack of a better term?
It's a different beast. I think it's one of those things.
Stop being such a self-deprecating shit. It was good. Fuck what the people think.
Yeah. No, look. That's I'm at the point where I've got to just, and that's why I'm pretty happy with it. I always I wish it'd be nice for it to be movie of the week. It'd be nice for like Bungie to acknowledge like this crazy shit that we're doing in the community, but I got to stop worrying about being in the fan club and just move on with it and keep pumping out content. So
exactly.
Really happy and really good support on Patreon. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with how it went.
Exactly, and that's what you got to do. I mean, if it obviously it's pretty viable at this point. Gamma's going to be working his little ass off for the next however long, working on installments of this, and I have no doubt that it will do nothing but gain momentum from here on in. So,
Okay, that's out the way.
That's out the way.
Now we can,
dude.
Now we can forget about it. Everyone move on into whatever.
You were right.
All right, fucking
I
spoiler
had so
warning.
Sleep. I forgot
Spoiler
about
warning.
my name.
Log doesn't know his own name.
Hold on your butts. Are you ready for the technological advancement of the Destiny Down Under podcast? What's the name of our first segment? What do you want to call it?
Story.
All right, ready? Oh, no, it didn't work. The music went and it... Oh, fucked it. Hang on. Oh, it's ruined. My life is ruined. Right, hang on. One more go. We're going to do it right this time.
Story. There we go.
Yes! I've obviously got to practice that, but it's fine, you know. We'll get there. We live and learn. Mate. You got to hear the cool bit of music, the sting of like fucking 3 times.
One fucking job. So, ladies and gentlemen, we played together on the first night. We played through the story, and I tell you what, just from where we started off at, like it was that second mission where like you had fallen 6,000 fucking feet. You'd had your little sort of spirit trip and all that sort of shit.
And you just
and you're staggering through the city. You are staggering through the remnants of the city. Like it was like a day later or something like that. So you'd hit the ground, passed out, just like fucking dead. But it was very interesting to see that like the ghost was really worried for you. As it would be. Very interesting to see that like you had nowhere to go. If they had found you, you'd be dead.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of the start of that story grounds it in a kind of emotional weight that was just not there in Destiny 1 whatsoever. There is you are on the wrong side of it. You have no power. You are like, I mean, to give Destiny 1 its credit, it's sort of like you start and you're in it. There's this, you're the guy that's just been rezzed, and this is this ghost, and you wake up, you're like, what the fuck's going on? This is a completely different beast. So, for mine, I think we'll just go like your best part of the story. Is there anything you didn't like? And then we'll move on, because otherwise we'll be here for 15 years.
Okay.
Personally, my favourite part of the story, or my favourite thing about the story, is that the balance between, like use Cade for example. He's a funny character. I mean, that's what he does. That's his purpose in the universe. There are moments that are incredibly memorable of him just dishing out one-liners and whatnot, but he also grounds it. And there's this sort of like the characters being more relatable than they've ever been, and being weak, and like seeing both Zavala and Akora be pretty much downtrodden and shot. And Cade is this character that's kind of like, no, I've got this stupid plan. I was here working on a plan to just teleport in and shoot him in the head, and that's the end. It was kind of, it shifted the dynamic. And that was, I thought, probably the most interesting part of it.
It was very much like he had this plan as soon as you heard him on the radio during Homecoming. It's like the golden gun keeps burning out, and then his light disappeared, and he's just like, well, fuck it, I'm going to go. I know where I can find some Vex tech to fucking get into Gary's ship, and I'm going to put a knife through his fucking ear hole. Like that sort of situation. Like for lack of a better, like it's a PG rated game, but like if it was MA, that's what it would have been. I'm going to take my throwing knife, I'm going to scoop out your eyeballs, and I'm going to stab you in the ear. That sort of situation. So
well, the thing is, there's not as T for teen as it was previously. Like I was surprised we saw some of the things with like with goal and console. with basically
Yeah.
Gold strangles Console to death from what we see.
Yeah.
And Cade puts a knife straight in the. I mean, we do it in game, but it's different when it's in a cutscene. So I
During
think it's pretty cool.
that city cutscene where you get. Also, KFC is canon in fucking Destiny.
Yeah,
Wait, what did it say? I didn't see this.
He calls the chicken. He calls the chicken Colonel.
Oh,
It can only mean one thing. Because we're
only
using
made
it as
one
a distraction. But anyway, I think we can accept that KFC is or was a thing in the Destiny universe. The end.
so what was your favorite part, Log?
My favourite part, probably Nessus, and just the quirkiness of Failsafe, and the kind of like, it had been really quite serious up to that point. There hadn't been sort of the departure from we need to do all this stuff to, hopefully get our shot at taking the Traveller back. And then you kind of land on Nessus and, Cade's being whipped around by teleportation. Failsafe is a schizophrenic AI. Like, it kind of broke the tension. That, and probably, I love the end. I love sort of the return to Earth at the end, and the cut, like, it sort of just, it stepped up a notch in that final act. And for me, it felt a lot like the end of Halo 3, the ripping around on vehicles, all that sort of stuff, where, it really gives you that sense of, I'm in a giant fucking spaceship trying to tear shit up. But it was, that was me. I've said pretty much half the game, so there you go.
Speaking of that, when you're flying around the Almighty, like building up to it, it was like, oh yeah, this is going to be fairly incredible. But after the battle of on the Almighty, how it was so incredibly large. You had to get to the Cabal dropship to get off the thing. Gary, Gaul's kind of seemed like a little bit of an afterthought for me.
I wasn't terribly impressed with the battle for Gaul.
Yeah, it was a bit of an afterthought. The fact that when he died, he became the first thing that crossed my mind, because I'm a fucking child, a sperm monster. But like, I could see where they were going with it.
It's true. He did say that. We did do it together, and Sloth did say, "Why is he sperm?"
I really like the Almighty. I really like the idea of Gaul taking the light. I like the idea that he was empowered and that he had guardian powers somewhat at the end. I just didn't feel like the mechanics of Gaul was anything special.
He didn't feel like a huge threat, did he?
Yeah, it really like we didn't struggle at all.
Yeah,
no, and I didn't struggle when I was in single player.
Yeah, so Matt went ahead and soloed it because he was too busy making videos because he's a YouTuber. No, I'm just fucking with you. No, but people have soloed it. Like, there are other people out there who I've spoken to who took 20 minutes to kill him, like a proper Dark Souls-esque battle. And I think that's just the super that they picked, the weapons that they've got, all that sort of situation. But yeah,
he didn't really do anything. He sort of just flew up in the air and just threw swords, and then
he was a Dawnbreaker, and then he switched to a void bomb and all that sort of thing. But like I said, I think the story finished at the Almighty, and it would have been good to have Console up there on the Almighty, defending the Almighty, and like you were up there, like you had to take him out to finish the thing. That would have been pretty cool. The Gaul battle was very muchly an afterthought, although the cutscene following the Gaul battle,
that's good,
is was insane.
We finally saw the fucking travel. We finally saw the Traveller actually do something. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Traveller woke up.
Or did
but
it?
Do
you realize we're having the second Golden Age?
Because the Traveller is awake.
We're in the second Golden Age.
Glory days. It feels like a golden age. Not an age of sleeping whatsoever.
We're in the new gold. I'm pretty sure they even say that we're in the new Golden Age.
Yeah, it's in the final cutscene, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I need to play it again. This is the thing when you play the campaign when you haven't had any sleep. I'm just like I'm trying to remember the camp. Like, I remember it was good. I remember getting in a tank I remember riding shotgun on a tank with Sloth. I remember.
Yeah, there was a lot.
I remember saying, "Here, Sloth, have my tank," and then I was like, "Can I have a bag?" He's like, "Nah, fuck yeah." And then he drove off.
There we go.
But my most favourite part, and I think like Log would agree. Like when we heard it, we were like, oh, this is interesting. Is where the speaker actually said to Gaul, like the speaker was savage.
Yeah,
for a
Speaker
lot
had
of
some
his.
really funny lines.
Yeah, like he
did
basically
some sass.
told he did the fucking internet, the usual internet thing, of
Kill yourself.
kill yourself. Yeah, kill yourself. And like as much as here on the podcast we don't
Condone that shit.
condone that shit at all. Like it's not on at all. But it was a that was some sass. But the best part, like when that little Cabal Red Legion symbol came up, is when the speaker finally admitted that he spoke for the Traveller, but the Traveller never spoke to him.
That was the biggest troll. That was the
That
biggest.
was the biggest troll ever, but that was fucking amazing.
I never said he spoke to me. I said I spoke for the Traveller. Oh, you fucking dickhead.
Is he dead, Matt? Like, that's what happened?
Okay. So
Is he dead?
Someone just showed me the scannable in the tower. It is in the section between
Yeah, over towards Akora. It's up the stairs near Akora.
in between Banshee 44 and Akora, up this before you jump down. And I can't remember the exact words now because I only just listened to it, but it said that he's gone now, and he wasn't the first speaker, but there must always be a speaker or something to that extent. So it sort of did it did imply that scandal did imply the speaker's gone, but that doesn't mean he's dead.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he was on a ship.
could have
that
gone
fucking
into
exploded,
hiding.
wasn't he?
Did the ship explode?
I don't know. Well,
No,
it
the
doesn't
ship didn't
yeah,
explode.
okay. Never mind. I was told.
But the thing that people have been asking in at least my stream, people have been asking in a lot of streams, the post-credit scene where you see the light erupting from the Traveller all across the solar system, across the entire.
Universe.
So that's our gold. That's our golden age. That's our new golden age.
That's our golden age starting, and then it crosses into dark space, and there are pyramid ships that have just come out of nowhere. Now, you, Matthew, actually said to me that this could be something, one of the races of the Fundament.
I think
I didn't say that, but that's
I said that.
I didn't.
Oh, sorry, Log said that. I was tired too. Fuck you, whatever.
Destiny Down Under does not sleep.
Okay. Let me just, for everyone's been asking me this question, and I hate to disappoint you guys, but I don't know more than you do. Okay, I might be a Destiny 1 lore expert, but I've only had Destiny 2 for the same amount of time. Do you know?
And in that time,
So-
he has played a fuckload of it, read very little, and slept fucking precisely none. So the old brain's not doing real well.
So, look, there are some things I can say to it. Yes, this was a concept art piece. Okay, there is concept art of 5 races, and this is the 5th race. This was way back when. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's fact number 1. At one point, this was concept art. Okay, they all have different colors. This was the yellow one with black darkness-looking triangles, etc. The second one is the actual concept, like proper concept art, which is like the ones you see in the loading screens when you're actually loading Destiny 2. Mm-hmm. That's the second one, and that was released forever ago as well. So the only thing we can really say is this has been an idea of Bungie for a while. Whether that idea from inception to now has changed, I would say likely. At one point, it was considered probably a 5th race of Destiny, but now it could be, could not be. I don't know.
That someone else is traveling in.
there is like it definitely raised some questions for me because I thought of what you were saying there before. It was a shelved race per se. It was a shelved idea of Destiny and all that sort of thing. But when it raised like a lot of questions. I'm sure everyone thought of it as well. What are these pyramid shapes? Because it was also in the initial cutscene after you fell 6 million fucking feet and hit the ground like a rock in a rock on a fucking cliffside. Well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, it was like you dreamt, or the cutscene implies that you dreamt of Io, you dreamt of Gaul, you dreamt of the Traveller, but you also dreamt of these pyramid ships. I think the cutscene was they were actually diving into the water with you. That was the cutscene.
I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once. I really need to watch it again and sort of dissect it a little bit more. I'm just seeing if I can find this this image of the races, because that's probably the least image. I think everyone's seen the image of like the giant triangles in the sky flying, but people may have not seen the image of the races. So I'm going to just quickly find that, and I'll post it in the Twitch chat in a moment.
But the thing that there was some interesting adventures and scannables. I love the fact that the scannables are just willy-nilly everywhere. Like when we started, we were like, "Hey Matt, there's a scannable here. Hey Log, there's a scannable here. Hey Sloth, there's a scannable here." And we were just going back and forth for like the first 5 hours of when we were playing, which was absolutely amazing. But one scannable that we did see, Log, you remember that one on Titan that was just like, there's something huge underneath the water on Titan, and then you and I were just like, oh.
I've also seen there was a picture doing the rounds on Twitter of some pretty swimmy, like Asian dragon kind of looking thing swimming through the water. The Loch Ness monster may or may not exist on Titan.
There's like a Shenron dragon from Dragon Ball Z and the Titan methane gas.
Shit, the methane dragon.
Methane dragon, bro.
Methane dragon. Does no one else just a lake of sea of farts? Yeah, he lives in a sea of farts. Let's one moment silence for the methane dragon. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get into some of the other stuff. I mean, let's just closing comments on the story, boys. Because we've got a time frame today. We've got to get back to playing Destiny 2, unfortunately. Yep.
Closing comments. It made sense. It was engaging. It was enthralling. I wanted to play it all. I wanted to finish the story. I wanted a conclusion. Lots of cutscenes. Terrific cutscenes. Great characterization. They done it good.
It was a definite, and I mean like a huge, a vast improvement over the Destiny 2 storyline. Like Log and I sat there and we said, let's compare the last mission, which was a little bit average comparatively to the rest of the story, to Black Garden.
It was fucking awful.
Well,
no. He's saying
compare it to Black Garden
was awful. Gaul was.
Yes, I mean Black Garden. The Black Garden was awful.
Yeah. So. But yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. They can only go up from here with their writing for the DLCs, the Osiris and the Warmind one. Really looking forward to it, and then really looking forward to the Pyramid Monsters.
To use this as a little segue, the story missions that saw us regaining our abilities, I found them to be some of the most spine-tingling shit in the game itself. I really enjoyed. Especially for me, I am a Striker Titan. I love being a Striker Titan. I have no aspirations to be anything but a Striker Titan. So playing as Purple Captain America for a little while felt like, it was okay. The lore on that tab, do yourself a favour and read the lore on the... A wall does not feel, because a wall does not care. But...
Be the wall.
Be the wall.
Be the wall.
That's a life motto. I am a wall. But the missions that saw us getting our abilities back, I thought it was a really cool way to service some of the lore that was, most of it was Grimoire stuff from D1, right? Like most of it was already written in the cards, and sort of to have it sort of played out in a way that, people follow it through, it's delivered to you, and you don't have to go and find it 2 months after you've run out of things to do in the game. I thought it was awesome. Matt?
Yeah, I'm. So my initial impression is very different to my impression now. So some of those are like the Arc Strider lore is like really dull, and some of the writing was extremely dull, and some of it was really good. So I don't know what was going on there. Like some of it felt very average, and some of it felt absolutely amazing. The sort of light projections that you see in the Dark Forest, some of them did tell the Grimoire cards, which was cool, which was really a nice sort of flashback. And they just said it in a different way, which was also really nice. So only if you actually had read the Grimoire cards would you understand what they were speaking about. Someone just said in chat there was Ahamkara in the Hunter one, and yes, there was an Ahamkara, and that was actually a reference to a conversation between a warlock and a hunter, and he challenged the hunter to hunt an Ahamkara. So that was in the Grimoire cards. I think it's the Ghost Remnant Warlock one. So that was cool. But my initial impression when I first started reading the lore, especially in those tabs, they didn't introduce new characters. And, you know, the thing about the Grimoire cards is they introduce a new character, and then you find that character's name, you know, scattered in all these other items, and then eventually you build a story from that. Whereas I found a lot of the descriptions were like, you know, like you said, build a wall. Like it wasn't. It described, you know, like a Sentinel Titan or an Arc Strider, but it didn't start introducing other characters into the mix. Yeah. So at first, I was really concerned. Now that it's been out for a little while, and how crazy my Twitter is, like people are just sending me screenshots of like scannables and stuff like that. You can see that it's quite in depth. But the thing is, it all relates still back to the Grimoire cards, which I think is great for me. But I don't like. Okay, so like new players, they have no idea, but those scannables mean fucking nothing if you're a new player.
I have seen old
veterans.
Yeah, I've seen veteran players like they went through the missions, and I've seen like people who had 4,700 hours plus in Destiny 1, and they ran straight past those, and they're just like, yeah, whatever, like they don't mean anything. And I was sitting there. I felt sorry for them for missing out on that part of the story, because like when I did the Voidwalker one on that first night, like I recorded it and all that sort of thing so Matt could use it and all that sort of shit. But I sat there and I was like, this is fucking incredible. We hear Toland's voice. We have like there are references to the old Grimoire card and all that sort of thing. But yeah, there was a lot of things that I really, really did enjoy about that. And it's actually kind of frustrating to see people just go walk, like casually stroll straight past that just to shoot the shooty bang bangs and pop the supers.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, I don't know. I think if they didn't make up for it for the campaign, they would be in the same position they were before. But I feel like they were so confident in their storytelling in the campaign, and the adventures are very competent in storytelling as well.
They feel out.
Like they really do, and the quest, the adventures, and the campaign really fill in the story a lot, and it's spoken to you. So I actually feel like the scannables they have really made for the hardcore lore nuts, to be honest. And unless you know the Grimoire cards from D1, which by the way you can't even go back and read unless you're using a third-party website. Do you know, like it's sort of cool that it's there. Yeah, they've removed it from Bungie. They're not on Bungie anymore.
Fuck. Sorry.
Well, that's
silly.
That's actually kind of fun. That's very silly.
Anyway,
yeah,
let's not bog down in that. We've got so much.
Yeah, anyway. So,
I mean, it's great for me, but I'm just trying to think about it from other people's point of view. It is, I think it's very up there with the level of D1 knowledge you need, which is good because you know what? People go like, Matt, you complained when it wasn't complex enough, and now you're complaining now that it's too complex. I'm just saying, I love it. But be prepared if you're new to Destiny 2 and you start scanning shit, you're like, what the hell are they talking about? That's probably why.
I think at this point, I just want to mention something that was brought to Sloth and I's attention last night during stream, in that the dialogue actually changes throughout the course of the game, whether you've started a new character or a new account.
Yep.
A new account. I'm looking forward to getting on the PlayStation because I never played D1 on PlayStation at all, just to get in and see what the difference is. and pick up different things. Apparently, depending on the race you are, you get different dialogue. Depending on what you completed in D1, you get little. I'm not talking like there's huge life-changing things, just little comments that people make. Shaq says different things. I think that in itself probably would have been completely glossed over, like by me anyway. I wouldn't have noticed because it was, it's addressed at you. I probably would have noticed once I got to the PlayStation. But I think that's great, and it's an attention to detail thing that definitely wouldn't have been there in Destiny 1. Not that it could have been.
And you know what? I didn't even notice it. Like we had a few people run through last night. We had Reva come in and he actually told us about this. He's like, yeah, like if you look at the Taken for the first time as on a fresh account, you're like, the ghost is like,
what are they?
Ikora, what are they? It's like your guardian had nothing to do with the Taken War. That was. That was a thing.
Oh, okay. I've only just caught up to what you guys are talking about. So if you've never played Destiny 1, you get different dialogue.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So when if you've got a fresh account, so people playing on PC will be like, So if you're like one of these people who are making the jump to PC from console, you'd be like, oh yeah, well, I know who they are. But the people who haven't played Destiny before on PC, they'll be like, okay, what are these? What are these Taken thing? The ghost will tell you if they're interested in the story, that is, which is actually kind of cool. So, one thing that we did see last night during the strike, we did Savathun's Eye Strike. That had some, like I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to read and listen and all that sort of thing. But there are some very
I need to do it. I haven't done it yet.
Things in there.
Just watch out at the end when you kill the big thing. There's like this big rotten macadamia nut thing comes flying out of it, and it hit me.
Yeah,
it was gross. It's gross. Yeah, I was unimpressed. All right, so abilities in general. Do we have fun? Let's just. What's your favorite ability so far? We'll cut it down to that. We've got so much to talk about, and it's just not fun.
Okay. the thing that's been so shocking and so amazing, Golden Gun with precision hits produces a ridiculous amount of orbs. Yeah. So I shot three red enemies, 3 normal enemies. If you get precision shots on all of them, you'll make 8 orbs. Of 3 normal enemies. It's ridiculous.
When we were playing through, you got all of the orbs. I dropped a Nova Bomb, got like 3.
Yeah.
You got a really exotic spot, you fuck.
This is true. So
we're not talking about it. We're just leaving it alone.
No. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No, still
my favorite ability I think from the Nova Bomb. Because I only know a Warlock at the moment, so I'll have to check that out at the moment. Fuck, shut your mouth, log. Is you can use part of your super to charge your grenade. I can't remember what grenade it is now. It's the tracking one anyway, and you throw it out, and it's like a mini Nova Bomb. Like honestly, like it is ridiculous. It's that's my favorite ability thus far. Although the Arc Soul from the Arc Soul.
Oh, that's. I think you know what? I think we'll talk about that next week after trials. It's going to be something to talk about. Personally, the pulse grenades, man. Holy shit! On the striker subclass, the pulse grenades are rude. If you have not yet thrown one, I was like, Navi is not lightning grenades for forever. I'm just going to go lightning grenades. And Sloth said, pulse grenades are better. Just fucking use them. As he does, you can imagine him saying that. So I changed over 2 missions later after trying to ignore him. And I'm never going back, ever. They are just disgusting. No matter what you throw them at, it'll die. Throw them at a fucking walker tank. It'll nearly kill it. It's just absurd.
Oh my god, I haven't seen them. I need to look at that.
They are ridiculous.
The suppression nades are pretty cool too, Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah,
you can take them out of their supers with that shit.
I'm horrified of, and the one starting with N and ending in Earth. I just don't want it to happen. I can see it, but right, they'd be like, these are just.
There are some things that after trials, I guarantee you there will be a hot patch, There will be a hot fix, and there are going to be some things that will change. I can guarantee fucking to you. You can take that to the bank. So the thing that a lot of people are asking the questions of on Twitter, YouTube comments, Twitch streams, how do you grind? There are some people who that I have in my Twitch directory right now who are sitting at 286, 290, that are very, very close to max light. I don't think they'll be able to get to max light without the raid, but the grind tips that I have is play the game. For lack of a better, I don't want to be the that Arecibo mission that Kool-Aid Man's talking about. Matt is the one about the one with the wall mine thing that I told you about. You like it?
Wall mine, cousin.
Okay. YouTuber problems, right? You have to play the game to make YouTube videos. You have to stop playing the game to make YouTube videos. Make sense? Wait, I'm just confused. I'm just confused myself. You have to play the
nail on the head, because you have to play the game to make YouTube videos.
You
have to stop playing the
game. You have to
stop
playing the game to make.
There's a hard line you got to draw there, Matt.
The thing what I'm saying is that, like if you really want to grind stuff, it takes time. And like obviously Twitch is better, so like you can just talk to people while you're doing it. And also the fact that for the last fucking 4 nights I've been starting playing at 9 p.m. and going to bed at fucking 7 a.m. the next morning. So that has been some pretty hectic sessions. I think that's probably why I'm the 271 or whatever it is. But hold on to, so in your directory where you hold left trigger or L2, you'll see powerful gear rewards. Don't hand them in until you're 265 plus. Don't do the nightfall until you're 265 plus. Don't
world quests.
World quests, don't do it until you're 265 plus. Like, do the adventures, do the lost sectors, grind for loot, do the figure out how to do the heroic
Can I
what are the events?
Public events. Thank you.
Can I dish out a bit of knowledge that I picked up from our good friend of the show, Rick Ackus, last night after trying to sleep.
Go for it, man.
So I haven't had a chance to test this myself. So just because I've only watched his video on it, I am looking forward to testing it though. Apparently, if a weapon or a piece of armor has a legendary mod in it, it will pretty much bump up 5 power levels. So that you will then drop, right? If you get a drop that'll come in, say your light is 270, right? And you get a 271 drop, you infuse it into the piece of armor that has the legendary mod, it'll go to 276. So it like dramatically accelerates the rate at which you can upgrade things based on having the legendary mod in them. Now,
okay, hold on.
Admittedly, this is really early days, but this is basically the premise is this. He figured it out because whenever he was upgrading an exotic, it would jump up. It was like 5 levels higher than what he'd get 5 additional levels out of it compared to the thing he infused into it. He figured out that all exotics have a legendary modification in them. And then he went and got legendary exotics, put them in legendary gear, and the same thing happened. In that you get these it's like 5 additional power levels from the infusion, and it sits at assists in how quickly you can boost it. So, I haven't had a chance to...
I need to confirm this. So are you saying, okay, let me just see if I got this right. You have legendary piece of gear that's at 270.
Yes.
And it has a modification, a legendary modification in it.
Yes.
Not a rare. So it's got a purple mod in it.
Yep.
You infuse a rare into that, or you infuse the legendary gear into something else?
You infuse something into that piece. You raise the light level of the piece with the legendary mod. Say you had a piece that was 2 light levels higher.
Okay, like a rare piece. Doesn't have to be another legendary.
No, I don't know. This is where it gets a little bit blurry. It is definitely It'll definitely work with the legendary, I know that, but I'm pretty sure it's rares as well. I, again, can't clarify that. That was just my understanding of his video. But say you've got a legendary piece on one hand, right, with a legendary mod, and you've got a rare, just for the sake of argument, if this is the case. This is 270, this is 272. You put the blue, the rare, into the legendary to raise its light level, and it won't be 272, it'll be 277.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they're saying in chat. So. Okay. I didn't know whether you meant you had to. Yeah. I'm not even going to say because I'm going to start confused.
Yeah, you're not burning legendary stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so but you can't buy legendary mods until 280, right?
I'm not sure.
From the gunsmith.
I have a couple. I'm not sure where I got them from.
The gunsmith sells them. I think it's 280.
Oh, well, there we go. We'll report back next week. That's just... I watched Rick's video at like fucking 2:30 in the morning, and that is my hazy recollection of it, but I remember being... I am going to fucking look this up.
Well, look... Okay, but here's the other thing, right?
Yep.
So, do you know Xur requires legendary shards?
Yeah, so you were burning your Xur currency.
So, if you're going to do that, you will be burning Xur currency. That's a tough one, man. That's a fucking tough one. Because you know
that he's going to be selling the D2 equivalent.
He's going to be selling something fucking dope, man. He's going to be selling something super dope. Nah,
so he's not here this week, correct?
Nah, it's next weekend.
After the raid, isn't it?
Yeah, the weekend after
like
the raid.
That week, the weekend after the raid.
Maybe it's worth jumping into. I do have the roadmap, some of the more important stuff written on our run sheet. We'll just quickly cover off on that. So 10 a.m. Pacific time on the 13th is raid kickoff, and 2 days later at the same time, 9 days after launch, is Trials of the Nines launch. So within the next week, we're going to get both of those things. Definitely an exciting time to be alive and be a Guardian. Clans are now live. They went live this morning at about 5 o'clock, I think. So you can now get in, go and see, what's her name, Hawthorne in the tower.
Hawthorne,
she will give you your representation thing. It's like sits below your class item, and start earning points. So I jumped in today and just signed mine up, and I got fucking points for doing nothing. So, free stuff is good. Free stuff is good.
Free!
But last but not least, and this is a question that sort of, I think a few people were umming and ahhing about going through the campaign, like, where the fuck are the factions? There is an event called the Faction Rally that is happening in the week beginning the 26th of September, the Destiny week, from the Tuesday onwards. Now, we don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. None of us know what that is. But I assume that that's probably when we're going to get factions back, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. So anyway,
but the images look like the factions coming back. I'm pretty sure I saw Future War called Dead Orbit and New Monarchy on there.
Well, if you can skip around the tower, the new tower, you can find where they're all going to be set up. They're all there. There's
okay.
Future War Cult have the most ridiculous looking
clean. It's a clean room.
Yeah, it looks like
so. Judging on how the game works at the moment. Right, like the way it is at the moment, the factions are sort of built into each world, so to speak. Like Devrim K, and they're not factions, but like you do stuff on EDZ and you get points for Devrim K. You hand tokens in for that, and that's sort of replaced the factions, so to speak. So it'll be interesting to see. So now we've got these centralized factions, the Future War Cult, and that are going to be in the tower. I wonder what you and there's no bounties, right? All the challenges are all built into the game now. Like you don't have to go pick bounties up from anywhere. I wonder what you're going to have to do for the factions. Do you reckon it's going to be a storyline? And
maybe I hope so.
Do you know what I'm hoping?
Or maybe they'll introduce bounties in the factions.
Metagame.
We could be getting some things.
Oh, do you reckon there'll be a metagame?
Hey. Well, what they're making a big deal out of it. It's got to be something significant. It's not like rally faction rally, yeah. And then, by the way, just the vendors are back now. Cool, thumbs up. That'll be as underwhelming as fuck. There's something going on.
Do you reckon it'll be metagaming?
Well, some of the things that we had that Bungie have done is fucking underwhelming. If it's a faction rally and it's just like, guess what? Fucking Executor Hideo's back.
Do you think it will have to do with the crew? Because I think PVE got so much more stuff. I wonder. It'd be interesting.
Crucible based.
Do you reckon the
I
factions will be Crucible based?
Personally, I think so, but at the same time, I doubt it because they will want to include everyone. You know, you can rank up your factions now, or Destiny 1, sorry, by doing anything, and I think it will work like that. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it seems odd that right. If they're just another vendor and just another type of XP or level to grind, why are they not there now? Sorry, Jesus. I can't speak. So, I don't know. Matt, you keep an eye on the time, dude.
Yeah, I reckon I can give another 5 minutes, man.
Right, 5.
Then I gotta run off.
All right. Well, me and Sloth, we might save questions from the chat for after.
Well, if you got, I might dip out then. If you guys want to keep going, would that be better?
Yeah, we'll do that. Cause Matt's in the midst of PhD madness as well as Destiny 2 madness and lore madness and sleep deprivation. So we're gonna give him an early mark today. He's gonna go off, but save your lore questions for next week because we'll pummel him with lore questions. Just write them down.
I just want to leave this with you because nothing is more true than the law will find you.
Oh.
And P.S. Cade 6 has a family. Spoiler alert.
Oh, he's dropping law bombs as he exits the cast. Bye, Matt. Right, okay.
The fuck out.
We'll just adjust this. This will take a little minute, but that's fine. Right. Well, shit, it's just me and you now, man.
Yeah, right.
I really do foresee that there's going to be something pretty significant happen with respect to the clans. I don't know what it is, but I can't help but feel like there will be more to it. What do you think? Yes, no?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, God. You're moving my head around.
Oh, no. Sorry.
It's very muchly one of those things that we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of speculation on it. That being said, it will. I can easily speculate that I don't think there's going to be much to it. I don't think it's going to be much chop, mate. Honestly.
All right. Okay. Well, let's move on.
Yep.
If you've got any questions from the chat, please fire them up now. I'm going to dig into some of the questions that we were asked on Twitter. I will leave the really, really lorry ones for Matt. When Matt comes back next week, we'll get into that. We're going to start doing probably questions from the chat, questions from Matt's stream and whatnot again too. So we'll get into that. But where are we? Here we go. I put a tweet out yesterday asking for just people's general thoughts on D2. So there's a lot of love out there, and it's great. Even you can go on Reddit. It's not the toxic shithole that it normally is. It's actually quite a nice place to be. And, aside from Shadergate 2017, which I don't know, Sloth. What do you reckon about the whole consumable shaders racket?
People will always find things to complain about, and that's fine. Complain about something, but fuck me swinging. Just stop taking it to public arena. No one cares. Do it in your Twitch chat, do it in your YouTube, but honestly, stop going on about it in fucking on Twitter or fucking whatever it is, the social media that you use. But god damn it. I am so sick of people saying, I don't like the shader system. Get the fuck over it.
Yeah,
Get over it.
It's not game breaking, is it?
It's not.
I've got fucking shitloads of them. And it is going to be an additional investment thing where, guess what? If the raid has really cool shaders, now you've got a reason to do it week after week, even when you hit level cap. You will be...
Exactly.
It'll give you something tangible for doing fucking activities. That was probably the tough love from the log in the slot.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, if that's as Reva's put in the chat, if that's people's biggest complaint, Bungie is doing something right. But the problem with people is that they find something to complain about. Guess what? I say you don't like it. That's fine. Say you don't like it. I don't like many things. I actually go as far to say that I dislike a lot of things. Do you hear me fucking complaining about it on Twitter every fucking day from the same person? You know who you are. No, relax. Relax.
Just calm the fuck down. Calm your farm. All right, let's move on. What else? What else have we got? Sorry, dudes. You just have to forgive me.
But it's such a small thing. It's such a small thing. The thing that sort of has me a little sort of umming and ahhing about Destiny, some things in Destiny, is actually the Eververse. Like, you can spend the money on it. And that's fine. You can get all of the fancy stuff that you feel so inclined to get into, but I love the fact that you can level up and grind for it, but I don't love the fact that they are slowly, and we spoke about this at length last night, and it leads into a whole bunch of other things that we are just not going to go into on the podcast, but it leads very, very slowly into microtransactions. And microtransactions and loot boxes and all that sort of thing is where the game industry is going, and I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah,
that's my take.
It's trying to fucking stem the flood, but man, we're just fixing the well. I think it's ultimately, if they're not making money out of selling AAA releases and they have to supplement it with this, or it's just corporate greed, there's fuck all we can do to stop it.
No, and that's exactly right. But I just don't want them to introduce a pay-to-win system. And it's not a pay-to-win system, regardless of what people say at the moment. It is not a pay-to-win system at all. It's just pay to get shiny stuff, like that bright red ship with the Jade Rabbit thing that
you deleted.
I deleted because I thought there was a ship collection. Apparently, there's no ship collection, guys. Be careful with what you delete.
That's probably a thing that we should touch on. And I guess it does come back to the shaders too. Is that there's sort of like these quality of life things that were systems in Destiny 1 that maybe we got to the point of taking for granted that are now not there. So there's no kiosks. There's no way to just pull out a ship that once you've got it, you've got it. It's not like that at the moment anyway. So. Treasure your things. I've just been dismantling duplicates. You know what I mean? I think we will down the line see them. I don't think the vault is that big that we'll never need them. But who knows? I mean, it'll definitely in the short term make everything that you pick up seem more valuable, and that's probably important in terms of investment.
Yeah.
The other thing, I'm just reading through the Twitter comments. Bloody Smack. He's pulled this out. Does anyone realise submachine guns have completely replaced heavy machine guns? I don't think
completely replaced.
Yeah, like are there even heavy machine guns? I don't even remember having one.
I have not seen one. Actually, that makes a very valid point. I have not seen one at all.
I can't remember seeing one. Has anyone got a heavy machine gun? Are they gone? Seriously? Like, I've gone through the whole campaign and not even noticed. Nah, right, there you go.
Evidently, there's no heavy machine guns. Well, there you go. I mean, but I think that's sort of a good way to move away from it, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like you've got your rocket launchers, you've got your grenade launchers, which I found one last night. It's just a legendary one, and it's actually fucking amazing. I actually really enjoy it. There's the submachine guns are fucking amazing. I finally finished the quest line for the Mitre Mini Tool last night.
Yep.
The Mitre Mini Tool is it is mint. It is amazing.
So like you've raised something that we've not seen before in Destiny 1 with that in the primary, secondary, or whatever, the kinetic elemental pairing.
Yeah.
So it's basically one's an exotic, one's the elemental is just a legendary, right? Like Sturm and Drang and
yeah, so one's an exotic. So I'm guessing most of them it's going to be your kinetic is your primary, is your exotic, and your everything else is going to be your thing. So like the Mitre Mini tool is a fire-based elemental. Yeah, fire-based elemental. I keep going to call them secondary, but they're not secondary anymore. But yeah. Ooh, I just logged into Destiny. I just got the 500 clan XP. Aces. There we go.
Thank you for coming. Thanks for being part of
Heroes
Scholar Sloth.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, but the Sturm and Drang is a very interesting weapon combination because you use your Sturm. So if you go and drop someone's shield, so ideally the way that you take out people with shields is you use your elemental to drop the shield, and then you use your kinetic for the maximum amount of damage. So you use your Drang to drop the shield, and then quickly, once you've emptied the magazine, you quickly change over to your Sturm. Your Sturm now has higher output for critical shots, which is, I think that's a really good idea. But it also refills your Drang. So if you empty your Drang, and then change to your Sturm and get a few kills with your Sturm, it actually refills your Drang.
Sounds like
it's such a good pairing. Oh, there is so many euphemisms. But the thing that I really enjoyed about it, it's actually Germanic folklore as well in those two pairings. I can go look it up. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's 18th century Germanic romanticism in literature is a period known as Sturm and Drang or Surge and Angst. I think it.
Surge and Angst is what it is.
Something like that. So, if you're into that sort of thing, I know about it because it's a name of a Lamb of God album. So that's the only reason I know. I'm not that way inclined in the literary front.
Yes.
So the Mitre and the Mini, what do they do? What's the trade-off there?
All right, so just looking at it now, you've got it boosts your move speed, and then if you change, so it makes you super quick, more or less.
So basically,
it makes you run quicker. So if you pair that with transversive steps, like I've got at the moment, you move so fast, It's great. It's so like obviously you can't really do too much like change wise with the Mitre because the intrinsic perk on the Mitre has always been you get to see your map.
Yeah,
so you get to see your radar and you move quicker, which is actually kind of cool.
How do you feel about I'm not going to say reusing, but the re-entry of things like Mitre Multi-Tool, some of the exotic armor that we've seen before? I mean, are you happy that they've been reimagined enough that they're fresh? Are you happy to see them just for the sake of nostalgia? Are you upset to see them because you think they could have just replaced them with something new entirely? I mean, they did blow up the vault.
The fact that they have brought back certain weapons and then gotten rid of other ones is quite good. The fact that they got rid of the Twilight Garrison is quite good. I'm not a huge fan of seeing the same things over again. Transversive steps, I'm happy to keep. Mitre, I'm happy to keep. I got one of the exotic sniper rifles the other night called Darcy. I'm happy to keep that. Like I want to see new ones, but I want to have that old, nostalgia, as you say. I want to have that nostalgia per se. So I can look at it and go, hey, I remember using that. It was in the Vault of Glass raid, and it was, we were drunk as skunks and we were using that. That's basically what we do, like what we have done. Log and I personally have done. Like we used these before, and it brings back good memories. But the people who are making the jump to Destiny, who are brand new to the game, will go, oh, that's kind of nice, and they might look at that and go, oh, okay, this is from the first game. So like people know this weapon, they love this weapon. This is the reason why it came over. So I think it's fine. I think it's great.
Another question. Are you surprised by how much of the Destiny community lives in New Zealand?
Oh, fucking Christ. Listen.
Let's just leave it. It's a done issue now.
Yeah,
it's redundant. But
that was an issue that it was one of those things, and it's all well and good to complain about it, but I'm done. I'm done with it.
Yeah,
I'm done with it.
yeah, it was one of the questions we were asked. I mean, there's obviously for Sloth and I being Australian and our release being 2 hours after that, it didn't affect us all that greatly. But if you're American watching another American play it literally 16 hours before you, I can understand why he was shitty, and I think that you're well entitled to be a little bit shitty. But it is what it is, man. I'm glad that everyone can play it now. We're all one happy family again, and there's no one coming into my stream anymore going, "How the fuck are you playing this game?
How are you playing this?"
What the fuck? I was surprised by that. There was so much of that on launch night. It was like, I'm Australian, man. Fuck. It was so good.
Yeah, like it's all well and like yeah. People got upset about it, and that's all. That's fine. Be upset about it. That is okay. You're very muchly entitled to be upset about it, but just, I don't get it.
All right.
I don't get it.
If anyone in chat's got a question they want to ask, go for it. Bust a Knuckle with a follow. I just looked at that. The Bust a Knuckle from the RNG cast. Welcome, if so, and if not, welcome also. That's welcome. Just welcome in general. All right.
It was absolutely. It is absolutely. With Destiny 2 as a whole, the release is absolutely friggin' amazing. Yeah. It's been absolutely amazing, and I'm quite impressed with how it's all turned out. Like you can't really do much more right with an initial release of a new IP. Well, a sequel to a very muchly beloved IP. I thought it was great. I
think there's enough that it's, there's a fair homage there to everything. Like, I think a lot of the fear around Destiny 2, especially when coming from like Matt's side perspective, was that this whole, it's a comic book zero and we're moving away, where that really hasn't been the case. I think as we sort of discussed at the time, a lot of that was Luke Smith being very deliberate in what he said because of spin. It was to say to all the people out there who didn't get Destiny the first time, and then I don't mean like get as in buy, I mean like get as in get like what we are. You become a lifer.
Yeah.
He was saying that to those people to effectively say, look, it's going to be different. And I think, it's different enough. I'll say that. But it is Destiny. There's no arguing that. There's no
other way about it. Like it is very muchly fashion souls, but like it is, it is, for lack of a better term, it's improved Destiny.
I think so.
That's all we can really say about it. It's like for the people who are now only just joining the series, welcome to Destiny. For the people who have been around since day dot, i.e., like you and I, it's always good to see it here, and it's here, and we love it. We really do.
You know what? I'll say this: if you're listening to this podcast, and admittedly, this is probably a weird point to jump in at, listening to dudes who've been playing Destiny forever talk about Destiny, but if you've just picked up Destiny 2, you never played Destiny 1, just tweet us and let us know, because we want to get your impressions as well, because a lot of the people we talk to have been are lifers like us. I'd really love to be able to get the perspective of someone who's never played this game, who's not got a great idea about the backstory, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. I'm sure we can.
It's always good. It's always good, and just on one final note, it's always good. Like I've got a few in between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, I have moved to other games and hang out in other game streams and all that sort of situation. Really enjoyed hanging out with Star Citizen people, PUBG, all that sort of shit. Dead by Daylight. It's always good to see those type of people. And they've repaid the favor by hanging out during the D2 streams over the last week. And it's good to see them actually interested in it. They're like, oh, who's that character? Oh, okay, he's really funny. What are you doing here? And you're trying to explain it as best you can. And I know if you've been in my streams, you know that I'm about as good with words as,
I mean, if you've been in the podcast,
someone who's yeah. But it's good to see people looking at it, and they're looking at it as oh, this is something that I could really get into.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. I mean, we
Like
were streaming last night, Sloth, and there was a guy came in. I've never played Destiny. What class should I use? And we sort of went through this, like, making up a criteria of what this guy was about and sort of trying to anticipate his play style. Just to, you know, like, give him the best guidance. And we basically decided that he was a Titan because he loved Master Chief. At the end of the day, go for it, buddy. We did discuss that before, Buster. I mean, we've got no idea. Like, is it Teal'c from Stargate? Maybe. It could well be, for all I know.
the Guaul from fucking Stargate, goddamn.
I'll take it. You know, whatever. It could well be. I don't know. I hope it's a new race. Honestly, I really hope it's a new race, because that was one of the things I looked at Destiny 2 anyway, and I'm like, it's the same enemies, and they've got like maybe 2 units different for the most part. I mean, admittedly, they look cool. Like the Fallen now, how they do the like squirrel crawl thing. That's really weird. It's unsettling.
When I saw that to begin with, I was like, that is, yeah. That I like the fact that they've sort of changed that. It was very creepy when they did that the first thing, because they're like little spiders, like,
the big just blue glowing eyes too. They look really. They look probably more threatening than they ever did in Destiny 1. And I think that's something that we noticed sort of going through the campaign. Everything's had this sort of, I don't know about you, but I think Thrall are maybe a foot taller. Thrall are a foot taller. Like, Acolytes seem a little bit smaller. They're nowhere near as threatening as they used to be.
They're bulkier.
And then the Knights are just brick shitouses. They've been on the peptides like the bloody Cronulla Sharks. Keg, there you go. Shout out.
The thing that I like, the Thrall are basically Slenderman. They're bigger, they're spindlier, they're more aggressive. The Acolytes are a little like they're second rowers maybe. They're a little bit smaller, but they're quite broad across the shoulders, and the Knights with these massive capes. So they're just I think the enemy design has come a long way. Yeah, I know, like, you couldn't really do too much in the grand scheme of things with enemies that had already been in the game since release in 2014. But it was the changes that they have made. I can't argue with them. I can't argue with them.
Do you think that we could, with this raid, and this is just an idea that popped into my head, this is worrying because Matt's not here to keep me and you on track. Anything could fucking happen. Do you think we could be playing against an entirely different race in this raid? Imagine that. Imagine guess what? The Leviathan raid is up and running and you are not even facing an enemy you've ever faced before in any context. I mean, they've definitely teased something.
You know what? That could actually, I know that we joke about the Guauld ships, and that only just came to my mind. So thank you for that reference. We think of the like they've just sort of just outside Sol system, and they're just hanging around and all that sort of thing.
The raid is Cabal. Have we got hard confirmation on the raiders being Cabal?
We don't have hard confirmation.
I don't know. I mean, Reaper's got that book that's apparently got it's the sports almanac from Back to the Future. It's got every bit of knowledge in it.
Like there are so many things that ideally yes, it will be a Cabal raid. But on the other side of the coin, there's a collectible, there's a scannable directly underneath Sloan when you first land on Titan, and that's where it says we're picking up some huge motherfucking thing underneath the ocean on Titan. Leviathan,
maybe.
The collector's book, that's all well and good to say that, it's in the collector's book. It's in the collector's book. But we thought that Gaul and fucking Console were going to be in the raid.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you're right. And in a way, I think that's part of what was surprising about the way it all panned out. In that, you basically defeat Gaul and he's done before the raid. I don't know. I mean, I guess we're putting our expectations on things like Rise of Iron and stuff like that, where Axis is the main enemy, I suppose, and you do face him at the end of the raid. But yeah, I think that would be a disservice to new players to make the actual end of the story arc so hard to attain. I think that would have been a loss. But who knows?
Yeah.
All right, well, if there's no other burning questions, burning little hearts away, we might host into someone who has definitely been on this podcast before and is a good friend of the show. But it's been a pleasure. Look, we're sorry we've sort of cut things a little bit short. Matt's got a hell of a lot on his plate at the moment, so he'll get through it. He'll be back. But yeah, we'll be back next week, and we'll be sort of, I don't know, we're definitely going to be talking about the raid and Trials of the Nine. So if you've got any feelings or anything like that between now and then, once you've played it, let us know what you reckon. And you know, we were only too happy to discuss everyone's ideas. So I think it's probably one of the healthiest things that we do on this podcast. Oh well. All right. Well.
God damn it.
Yeah. On that note, we're going to play a bit of music, but we're going to raid into Vibronium. So we will do our traditional raid greeting of just going in and saying "G'day, mate," a hell of a lot. And until next week, we've been the Destiny Down Under podcast. Can you do the creepy law goodbye in Matt's stead?
Don't go searching for the law. The law will find you.
Oh, wow. I think you've got yourself a new job there, Sloth. That's disgusting. Bye.